Okay, let's talk about some methods of advertising. I'm going to go through 8 of them or something like that really fast. I'm going to loosely go in chronological order. So way back in the day, 100 years ago, newspapers were the latest, greatest. People buy ads. Probably not that effective advertisement because people reading a newspaper, they're not necessarily feeling a pain. So, I'm sitting there at Sunday brunch reading a newspaper, and there's an ad for tires or for physical therapy. Well, I don't care. I'm enjoying my breakfast. So I might not be moved to make a purchasing decision right then. So newspaper ads, not the most compelling way to ad. Next thing, magazines came out. Well, magazines are similar to newspapers, only a little bit better because they're focused. So I read a ski magazine. Well, they're going to show me ads of skis because they know by fact I'm reading it. I'm a skier, so they can target ads to me being a skier. But basically, I'm probably just sitting on my couch not really wanting to buy new ski boots. So it still is not the best because it's not right at a decision point. Billboards, you're driving down the road, you look at billboards. It's mostly eye pollution, right? Who cares? There's a classic counterexample to this when billboards are really good advertising. And that's when you're out on a long road trip and you're driving on the highway and it's 6 o'clock and you're getting tired of driving. And you see a billboard that says Motel 6 30 miles ahead, right? It's a well-targeted ad, and they put them on the outskirts of cities because you might just be making a decision right around then about where you're going to spend the night, right? And that's why you see billboards advertising hotels or Denny's or whatever right outside the city. So billboards, a lot of people see them that aren't making a purchase decision, but you do have a pretty good targeting where you're making people aware of your brand when they are thinking about buying your product. Next example is Yellow Pages. Yellow Pages is actually pretty good because the only time you ever look at Yellow Pages is when you're thinking about buying something, right? Where can I get paint? Well, you're going to look under paint. So it's a pretty effective thing, and that's why Yellow Pages, they could charge a lot of money to put your ad in there, it's because they're getting buyers. People are making purchasing decisions are looking at this. So it's all right, but Yellow Pages, nobody uses it anymore because nobody goes to their shelf to get out the book. They are sitting on the couch watching TV. So, you're watching Survivor, and then on comes an ad for, Coca-Cola or erectile dysfunction or something, and you're like, skip this, just fast forward, let's get back to Survivor. So TV ads are also not that great because they're not when people are making buying decisions. TV ads are great because there are not many ways where a single company like Hewlett-Packard or whatever can reach all of America, right? And they can do that with one call to CBS. And that's the claim to fame for TV ads. They're fairly low value, but they're big volume. So it's efficient for big companies like Coca-Cola. Similarly, endorsements. In the early days, I wanted to wear the same underwear as Michael Jordan. Oh, Michael Jordan wears Hanes. Cool, I'm in. I'll buy Hanes. Nowadays, I think endorsements are losing a lot of their power because everybody knows they're just paid to do that. And then you get the whole Tiger Woods phenomenon, right? So endorsements, pretty powerful. You have some affinity, but not always right when you're making a purchasing decision. Spam is one of the worst. Nobody cares anything about spam. The only reason that works is because it's so cheap to send out a gajillion of them. And then along came Google and AdWords. Now this is really good, and of course this is all progress, and so we're near the bottom, so this must be the most progressive ad. Well, it's really a brilliant thing, right? Because you Google something, paint, and up come ads for paint. So it's real time, what I'm interested in buying, just like Yellow Pages, only it's very convenient. You can also make it geographic, paint near me. And you can also combine stuff. You can make like exterior paint, right? Or tile paint or whatever. So it's more flexible than Yellow Pages. It's also more immediate. Yellow Pages prints once a year. So AdWords, Google makes a ton of money. Everybody knows that. The last thing is word of mouth. Facebook, social networks, increasingly, people are making purchase decisions through their social network, right? What did you get? How's the iPhone working for you? Do you like the iPhone or the Nexus? Okay, so Intuit, makers of Quicken, 81% of their customers come from word of mouth. I don't think they have a huge advertising budget, yet it's a hugely growing company. So as great as AdWords is, word of mouth is getting better, and it's getting a more and more important role in the purchasing decision, which is one of the reasons, by the way, strategically, why Google and Facebook are rivals, right? Word of mouth, it's timely. So if I hear somebody talking about paint, and I happen to be in the market for paint, I'm going to say, hey, who'd you use and why? So I'm only going to ask them that if I care about paint. And if I don't care about what they're talking about, I'm not going to engage, right? So word of mouth is very timely. It comes from a trusted source, much more so than the yellow pages or whatever. It's free, right? You don't have to pay somebody to have them talk about your product. You just have to have a product that they love. So this is raving fans, okay? I got an iPhone. Man, I love this thing. Mom, you should get one. Okay, that is the most powerful thing that Apple can ever do to sell their product. My mom doesn't know anything about phones, and if her son says this is the best thing, she's going to go get one, right? So what you want is, I already mentioned that, you want people to get talking about your product. You got to get them to love your product, and then you got to get them to talk about it. And so, especially with internet businesses like I've done, but even with the iPhone or other stuff, you really have to energize your customer base. You have to make sure that they love your product, and for those that do, you get them talking. At Intense Debate, we had a full-time guy whose job was to energize people. So somebody would install Intense Debate on their blog. We followed all these people, and if they liked it, we found out somehow they liked it, we'd say, dude, glad you like the product. Would you do us a favor and tell your friends or tweet about it or write a blog post about it, right? We had exponential growth, and it was all because of that, right? People liked our product, and they would tell others, and wow, it's working for you, well, I'll try it. Hey, this is cool, and then they would tell their friends. Okay, so the point of these two slides is I am a huge fan of word of mouth. It's the most effective advertising. It's growing in importance. It's free. It happens at decision time. It's the most effective. It's the only thing we did in Intense Debate.